Good morning, my name is Anna Okwe, and today I'll talk to you about the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has on food systems, food security, and agriculture issues. As you already know, we've been passing through a hard moment and tough times in all aspects, such as this one, which is the one I'll be focusing in. Agriculture has a tremendous role since it's part of human consumption. The food since has been broken for many years. Some of the main causes are animals, the environment, and humans being cherished. However, since the COVID-19 pandemic, many agricultural workers are unable to uplift themselves out of poverty and food insecurity because they're passing through hard moments where the economy is going down and down. And as this pandemic continues and keeps increasing and spreading across the whole world, food chains are high in crisis, impacting greatly the global economy of the whole world. The food system has been impacted throughout decades, with children dying from hunger, food shortages, food insecurity, and migration problems causing labor shortages and unattainable living costs. This crisis has showed that our food system is vulnerable in three main spots. The first one is the industrial agriculture in the livestock production that has amplified the risks in emerging diseases from animals that are in small spaces. The large number of animals in small spaces. Secondly, the extreme price in food supply causing problems in affording these products because they are high in costs. Thirdly, we have hundreds of millions of people in the cusp of hunger, face malnutrition, and in extreme poverty, which makes them more vulnerable to these effects of global pandemic. Food security has been impacted with this pandemic. Even wealthy countries are having serious problems of getting access to these nutrients and food sources, making groups of people depending on their necessity. Hunger is known as the absence of basics food, which it will provide the necessary nutrients to carry on a daily and typical day. And after some research, I found it out that hunger can make a lot of consequences. You cannot even imagine how many consequences can hunger make. And hunger can also affect physical and mental growth of people, resulting in slighter and smaller bodies. They used to grow smaller than they needed because of the hunger. Starvation will result in the ability to perform the minimum physical in labor jobs, affecting all the surroundings. COVID-19 cases proliferate in countries home to millions of people experiencing acute and food insecurity. Many of whose public health and social protection system face capacity constraints. The consequences could be drastic. You cannot even imagine how many consequences the hunger can provoke. Food supply and demand, and indirectly through decreases in purchasing power, the capacity to produce and distribute food, and the intensification of care tasks, all of which will have differentiated impacts and will be more strongly affected the most vulnerable populations that we cannot even imagine all the consequences that this could bring. And after this outbreak, I think that there should be many lessons learned for countries to have an appropriate policy measures, maintaining and also upscaling humanitarian food security interventions, and also protecting the livelihoods and all the food access of the most vulnerable people, particularly those in food crisis contexts, as we already talked. Global food markets are not immune to pandemics and are very vulnerable like the rest of all the factors. So, after knowing these hard consequences that the world has been passing through, we should already know that we're not immune to anything and we need to take more care in all aspects. We all have been hearing news in certain way, and we already know that our bodies are not immune to this virus, that even if you think that the virus will not get you if you go out and interact with people, that this will not get you, you're very, very, very wrong, because this is something that God has made, and we need to have a lot of care so we can be healthy without this virus. And however, they are likely to be less affected than the other sectors that are more exposed to logical disruptions and weak demand, such as travel, manufacturing, and energy markets, allowing lower markets to retain open. And for me, this has been like a wrong thing that the governments have made, because maintaining the food markets and stores open to the public and that anyone can enter has been a very wrong mistake, because what this makes is that the virus keeps spreading all around the cities and the world. So I guess that I know we need food and we need food markets open, but they should not be open to everyone all day. They need to get restrictions. And you may hear in all the news that in the markets they are following all the biosecurity rules, but it's a lie, because last week I went to the market to buy food and vegetables, and there were many people that were selling fruits and vegetables without masks. And what I did is that I didn't even go to their places to buy, because they could have the best fruit, the fresh vegetables, and all that you want. But if you're not following the rules, I'll not help you buying you things, because you're not following rules that you already know you should follow. So this virus can stop in our cities. So I think that this is something that we should make, and I even stopped and tell her, wear your mask. We're in a pandemic global situations. And she said, oh, but the virus will not touch me, and I know what things. So this is something wrong. And well, to end, I can say you guys that after all these things that you already heard about the consequences, people dying from hunger, people dying from not having the oxygen they need to survive, and all this stuff, we can help in little things. Like, for example, yesterday I went to a house here near my neighborhood, and I gave them masks, I gave them shampoo, I gave them also antibacterial gel, and all the stuff. That they're small things, but it can help, because you don't know if all the people can afford this mask. As I say, you don't know if everyone can afford buying all this biosecurity stuff. So if you can help people, and if you know people that does not have these materials, so they can survive the pandemic global situation, you can help them in small things like giving them masks. They'll be very helpful for them. And to end, I want to tell you that we should be thankful for keep surviving to this pandemia, because there have been a lot of people dying and we are still with life, and we need to be thankful and keep following all the rules so we can get better each day and just learn how to deal with the virus, taking care and all the stuff that you guys already know. Thank you for watching.